Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Leach, back here with another reaction video. Make sure y'all hit that sub button, turn the notifications on, and make sure y'all follow the socials on the screen. It'd be much appreciated. I give thanks to the man above for another day. God bless. I love y'all. As y'all can see by the title, the Browns have fired head coach Kevin Stefanski. Let's get right into it.
The only one so far. Kevin Stefanski, the Browns head coach, has been fired in Cleveland. This is an expected move. It is one that we have been
this one was kind of obvious
yesterday. But Kevin Stefanski is out. The two-time
Browns
NFL
fans are
Coach
happy.
of the
Tired
year.
of that boy Kevin Stefanski.
Been there in Cleveland for 6 years. Led this iteration of the Cleveland Browns to
I just don't think
only
his play
their
calling is the best, bro. That's his problem,
but
bro.
ultimately they were destined.
I really
for
don't
a
think he's
breakup.
that bad of a head coach, though. I think he's a good head coach, like for real.
No matter who the quarterback was, and you could certainly make arguments about who the quarterback should have been. But last year, giving up play calling duties to his offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. This year,
wonder where he'll go next.
Play calling duties to his offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. This has been the anticipated move, and so now Kevin Stefanski is out in Cleveland. Cleveland will be searching for its 11th head coach since 1999. Meanwhile, Stefanski, mentioned, two-time Coach of the Year.
Yeah, two-time Coach of the Year. I mean,
a hot name in the other places that will have openings. I would expect.
But I feel like it was time the Browns
moved on from him. Second interviews, perhaps at multiple stops. So Stefanski is out. I know you.
It's kind of a win-win for both sides for Kevin Stefanski and the Browns
with the Atlanta Falcons because there has been a huge.
Sometimes you just gotta move on.
There, they are going to be searching not only for a general manager, not only for a head coach, but now for a president of football who will oversee head coach and GM in a new setup there in Atlanta. So that's what's happening. We are expecting
the
more.
Falcons, bro. They cleaned the house, man.
And then
make sure y'all go check that video out.
Andrew Berry, the general manager of the Cleveland Browns, he is staying. So Kevin Stefanski out. Andrew Berry is
They're gonna look brand new next year,
continuing on in his role as GM.
All right, so Atlanta, that happened last night. Appreciate that, JJ. And of course, when it comes to Cleveland, that was today with Kevin Stefanski. Quick reaction to that.
Not overly surprised. They've really struggled over the last couple of years. JJ's point, right?
I mean, he's a good coach, though. I mean,
quarterback position, and that was going to be my next question, but JJ answered at the end. Andrew Berry, because when you look at it, home run draft class this last year, he's put the subsequent pieces around. They have to get the trigger man right at the quarterback position for that next new head coach. But Andrew Berry has brought talent to the Cleveland Browns roster.
I don't think Andrew Berry should be fired. Andrew Berry.
But here's the thing, I want to go here with the jobs that are coming open, and like JJ said, Stefanski will be a hot name. Because of what he's done, what he's been able to do. A lot of these teams are now looking for someone who's going to help them develop a young quarterback. And if you look at the class of this year's head coaching crop, is more defensive minded.
So Cleveland better take their time with this one and not rush to go get someone. Like, take your time. Even with the Falcons, like,
he just received an extension last
summer. Don't gotta hire one, tomorrow.
And so from a financial standpoint, the Cleveland Browns are still on the hook for paying him so he can come in for
but the Browns' biggest problem is like they got no weapons. Like they don't.
And with Cleveland,
the running back room is cool, but like you got Judy, but I feel like they should just get rid of Judy and just start fresh.
This is my question, though, Rand. When you look at his resume,
go to free agency. Right? I don't know how much money they got. Maybe go get a receiver draft.
He doesn't really have a resume of showing that he can develop a young quarterback. Let's not forget Joe Flacco came in there. He was already a proven vet that came in there.
Yeah, they traded for
Deshaun Watson. I'm not saying that Kevin Stefanski was 100% on that train to trade for him.
Just that they got to work on the offensive line.
Resume of him developing a young quarterback. So it'll be interesting for those teams that need a coach to come in and help develop a young quarterback. Is Kevin Stefanski the guy? Because we really don't have a resume of him doing it.
JJ, want to come back to you for a second?
That certainly has not been there, and there is the big elephant in the room, of course, with Deshaun Watson and what has become the worst trading contract
that shit was
in NFL history.
I love Deshaun though,
but
that
really did kind of soak up a lot of that time, along with Baker Mayfield trying to make it work with him as taking up the majority of those seasons. The quarterback there, Shedeur Sanders.
But yeah, Deshaun will be back
started
next season. So
spring workouts.
Never know, he might beat out Shedeur for QB1. So.
Finished this season starting 7 games for the Cleveland Browns. As among qualified starters, probably the worst when you look at a lot of metrics, pretty basically passer rating. As one, he had a worse passer rating than J.J. McCarthy, for example. A lot of things were working against him, no question about it, right? But it does appear...
But you got to take this into account, bro. Look who Shadur's throwing the fucking ball to, bro. Like, I'm not even, like, trying to be like that, but, like, come on, man. It's not all on Shadur. Plus, he's playing with a horrible offensive line. Like,
the 2026 Week 1 starter for the Cleveland Browns. And it is going to depend upon what coaching candidates think about that, right? Because they're hamstrung with the cap, with all the money that is due to Deshaun Watson. They have spent an incredible amount of draft capital already at the quarterback position. They are picking too far away to get a Fernando Mendoza, for example. So it is appearing like it's going to be Shedeur Sanders. And coaches will want to have to sign up for that at least in year one. And so we'll see how that impacts their pool of candidates. A lot of folks believe that they're going to be getting a first-time head coach again there in Cleveland
First-time head
because of
coach?
what's going on there with the Browns.
So when it comes to it, you always think
That's the
about
thing,
this, a young quarterback.
first-time
what
head
type
coach?
of head coach? Are we going offensive-minded or defensive-minded? Or just a coach
I don't
of men
know.
when you think about what the Browns need?
kind of
You're a
risky.
leader of men to really get that culture right in Cleveland. People always say with a young quarterback, you need an offensive-minded coach. No, you just need a really good staff. You need a good offensive coordinator that can develop a young quarterback, because look at what DeMeco Ryans has done. Look at what John Harbaugh has done.
Exactly.
Mike Tomlin. Like, these are all defensive and special teams minded coaches. You don't necessarily need an offensive minded coach to be your head coach to help develop that young quarterback. He has to have the right staff in place. And to your point, Brandon, he has to be a leader of men.
Yeah, I'll say it this way.
that's the
Having
most
gone
important
through a head
part,
coaching
a leader
search
of men,
myself,
bro.
the
Like,
number one
that's
thing
what
you
you
want to
need.
look at, because obviously that head coach candidate, their resume is what's going to bring them to the table, what they've done, the successes they've had. But the number one thing that you're going to look
supposedly
at
they
is
want a
in terms
first-time
of their
head
staff.
coach,
What
like,
type of staff?
I just don't think
are you
that's
gonna be able to
fitting
put in
for a
place?
rookie.
What is your
Well, not a rookie
succession
quarterback,
plan
but
on your staff? If
be
you're a
second-year
non-offensive minded
quarterback,
head coach, can you put a staff that's
for
in place
sure.
of not
I mean,
only
I
having a
don't-
qualified
I feel like you'd want someone in there with, like,
but can
head
you
coach
have the
experience
successor
that
on that
knows
staff
how to
if that coordinator
develop.
has success
I don't know
and
if I'd
moves on
want
to get a
someone
head coaching job? So to me, whoever's
that
going to be the
just
next
is
head
new
coach of
as
the
a head
Cleveland Browns,
coach, like-
you have to show that you can put a
I don't know. I
quality
just
staff
think I
together
feel like
and
it's
have
kinda
success.
risky.
But
I
we
don't
keep
know. That's
talking
how
about
I
this
feel
Deshaun
about it,
Watson
but-
thing. And whether or not
I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe they get, you know, the first-time head coach, and it goes,
What's that quote? Success has many
beautifully,
fathers,
but I don't
failures
know if
have
it will or
none.
not.
Everyone's distanced themselves
But that's
from
the
the
thing, like,
decision
you
of
don't
Deshaun
know
Watson
until it
at this
actually
point.
happens,
And
but-
here's the thing. Whether you initially
with all these
on
teams
board
that are
or
getting
not,
a new head coach,
once
y'all
you
just
made
need to take y'all
Deshaun
time.
Watson,
Like,
the transaction
don't gotta
happened,
rush
you
it.
were on board with
Correct.
it. And if you had
that's the thing. Some of
success,
these
you
teams,
would've
they
been
just
reaping
rush
the
the
benefits of that
process, bro.
success.
And they're like,
And
oh,
because it
yeah,
hadn't
yeah,
worked
that's
out,
the
everyone
dude.
wants
And then,
to abstain
you know,
from
2 years
being
down the
involved
line,
in
and they're
that.
just
So,
they're stuck in
yeah,
the
I
same
just want to
place.
make sure I
Like,
throw that out there.
that's what I think Cleveland's going to do. They're just going to rush to get it. Like,
Yeah, I just want to make sure I throw that.
But that's going to do it, though. The Browns fire head coach Kevin Stefanski. Let me know in the comment section down below. Did they get it right? I think they did. Even though he's a 2-time coach of the year. I just think it's time to move on from Kevin Stefanski. He's not really offensive minded. But you heard Jonathan Jones. He said that they're looking for a first-time head coach. I think that's kind of just crazy to me. But I don't know. It's the Browns. We'll see if it works out for him. But yeah. But Kevin Stefanski definitely one of the best names on the market right now, though, as a head coach. So he probably will get a job pretty soon. I could only imagine. But yeah. Make sure y'all follow the socials on the screen. It'd be much appreciated. I love y'all. And I'm out. Peace.